Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Woodchucks Baseball Network for the game. The second of two in this two-game set between the Wausau Woodchucks and the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. I'm Will Charlton live from Witter Field here in Wisconsin Rapids as the Woodchucks look to bounce back from a 3-0 shutout loss yesterday where the only run scored was off of a 3-run home run in the first inning for Shane Taylor for the Rafters. And the Woodchucks now have dropped back-to-back games after losing on Monday, 7-6 to Fond du Lac, and losing yesterday 3-0. The lineup tonight for the Woodchucks leading off is Dalton Pearson, who's about to face off against starting pitcher Brett Porthan for the Rafters. Pearson followed by Mike Adair, Jesse Donahoe, Mike McGinnis, Brady Jergella, Matt Del Sol, Vincent Samuel, Matt McGann, and Ryan Burr. As we wait first pitch from the right-handed Brett Porthan, the Utah Tech man against the Georgia State Panther, Dalton Pearson, and it's in there for strike one on a fastball. First pitch tonight, 6:07 p.m. It's a beautiful night here in Wisconsin Rapids, 75 degrees. As the 0-1 to Pearson is bunted down the third base line, but goes foul. So a smart idea about Dalton Pearson. Had a bunt single last night in the 3-0 loss for Wausau. Great idea, trying to bunt it down the third base line. He would have beat it out for sure, but just goes foul. Now we get a chance to introduce the Rapids defense. In the outfield, Matt Olive in left, Ty Johnson in center, Brandon Rogers in right. The infield, Jack Basir at third base, Garrett Broussard shortstop, Chris Conniff second base, Danny Sheeler first base. The only defensive adjustment besides pitcher is Alex Duffy behind the plate for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters, and Brett Porthan on the mound. The 0-2 to Pearson, low and outside on a slider for ball one. This past season at Utah Tech, Porthan went 6-5, 6.32 ERA, made 17 appearances, 15 starts, as that one's fouled off by Pearson. Count will stay 1-2. Pitched in 84 innings, had 56 strikeouts, gave up 108 hits, 66 runs, 59 of which earned, 22 walks, and had an opposing batting average of .309. Pearson pops this one up on a 1-2 into the infield and will be playable for Garrett Broussard for out number one. Infield pop-up is the way that the Wausau offense begins their night. That brings up Mike Adair for the Woodchucks, the Dayton Flyer. Mike Adair, the Fort Gibson, Oklahoma native, coming over from the University of Dayton. Making his 9th start tonight for the Woodchucks. And takes a fastball outside from Porthan, 2-0 count. He's hitting 185 at a couple singles in last night's game. 2-0 is swung at into right center field and caught into the glove of Ty Johnson. Well hit ball by Adair. Nearly was able to get it to drop, but Ty Johnson, nice track, and just like that, 2 up, 2 down for the Woodchucks. Dalton Pearson and Mike Adair go down, bringing up Dalton Pearson's Georgia State teammate, Jesse Donahoe, the very impressive player for the Woodchucks this season. Donahoe, the Columbus, Georgia native, playing in his 9th game for the Woodchucks, swinging a miss on a changeup for strike one. He leads the team with batting average, hits, and home runs, as well as RBIs and slugging percentage. .440 batting average, 11 hits, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. And that one's in there for strike two on a fastball, clipping the low inside corner. So 0-2 from Porthan, looking to go 1-2-3. And he goes outside and low for ball one to Donahoe. Donahoe did not have a hit in last night's game one. In fact, he was 0 for 4, a couple strikeouts, a ground out, and a fly out, as Donahoe takes a low changeup for ball two. 800 slugging percentage, 545 on base percentage, which also leads the team. Donahoe is having quite the season so far. 2-2, 2 outs. Donahoe fouls that one off. They'll stay alive at 2-2. He played in 42 games, started 27 of those for Georgia State this past season. 287 batting average, 31 hits, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs. If he's able to get on base, on deck is his Georgia State teammate Mike McGinnis in the DH spot. Donahoe playing second base today, 2-2 count, 2 outs once again. And that fastball is inside in the strike zone, and that's a first strikeout tonight for Porthan and the third in the series for Donahoe. Woodchucks, just like last night, go down 1-2-3 in the first, and it's a 0-0 game heading into the bottom of the first. The Rafters up to bat when we return on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. And only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Welcome back. Woodchucks have taken the field in defense. Let's see who's out there for them today. It's Brady Dragella on left, Dalton Pearson in center, Mike Adair in right, Vincent Samuel at third base, Matt Del Sol at shortstop, Jesse Donahoe at second, Ryan Burr at first base. Behind the dish is catcher Matt McGann, and on the pitching mound is the Towson University man, Nate Nabeholtz. Nabeholtz came in for a very, very impressive first appearance where he went 5 full innings, where he struck out 7, only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk, and had a opposing batting average of .063. He also picked up the win in his first appearance, as he's facing off first against Ty Johnson, the leadoff man, once again tonight for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. Fastball is low and away for ball 1, and there is a fastball in there for strike 1. As we take a look at the rest of the Rafters lineup, Chris Conniff follows Ty Johnson, Jack Basir, Danny Sheeler, Garrett Broussard, Shane Taylor, Matt Olive, Alex Duffy, and Brandon Rogers rounding things out. Pop up into shallow right field, and calling for it is Mike Adair, who makes the grab for out number 1. So a fly out is the way the offense starts tonight for the Rafters. And Mike Adair is there to make the grab. Nabeholtz this past season at Towson made 19 appearances with 1 start, which was actually their first game of the season for Towson this past year. He was 3-1 with a 3.46 ERA, 1.28 WHIP. Pitched in 54 2/3 innings this past spring, 57 strikeouts. First pitch swinging by Chris Conniff, fouls it off on a fastball, strike 1. Gave up 48 hits, 21 runs, all earned, 22 walks, and an opposing batting average of .242. His 5-inning outing was already more than he pitched all season for Towson in a single outing. His longest was 4 2/3 on May 12th against Delaware. He had 8 strikeouts, March 24th against Charleston. Did not allow a hit in his first 3 appearances. 4 outings with no walks as well. 1-1 coming to Chris Conniff from Nabeholtz. And the sinker misses low for ball 2. Nabeholtz is telling me pregame he wants to mix in a sinker today, something he really didn't show in his first outing. So he's really trying to command the strike zone up with his fastball and then gets righty swinging at his sinker as he misses with the fastball there. It's 3-1. His uncle Chris Nabholz played in the MLB from 1990 to 1995, and his cousin Eli Nabholz was drafted by the Brewers in 2019. So a couple fun facts for you there about Nate Nabholz. 3-1. That's an inside pitch on a changeup, and that's a 5-pitch walk to Chris Conniff. He's over at first base now, first base runner of the game, which once again belongs to the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters and Chris Conniff, the Wagner College product over there at first base now. Up next is the Pepperdine Wave, Jack Basir. Basir, coming over from Pleasanton, California, 6'1", not 195. Takes ball one from Nabholz in a righty-righty matchup. This past year for Pepperdine. Check over to first base and Ryan Burr from Nate Nabholz. 46 games played, 44 started for Basir, 345 batting average, 58 hits. Very impressive freshman season out there in California. Fouls that one off for strike one on a fastball. Basir, '13 doubles, 5 home runs, 34 RBIs, slugging percentage of .512, on base percentage of .418 for Pepperdine. And so far, he's hitting .278 in the Northwoods League. He fouls that one off. Down the right field line. Sounds like someone's car may need a new window. Take your car down to Al Auto Glass. 1-2 with one out. And Chris Conniff at first base. Making his 10th appearance today for the Rafters is Basir. As a slider misses low and outside from Nabholz, 2-2 count. He has 10 hits, 1 double, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. As a little check over to first base again, nearly picking off Chris Conniff was Nate Nabholz and Ryan Burr over there. Very nice work on the defense, as in last night's first game, he was batting in the cleanup spot, now batting the 3 spot today. Basir did not have a hit as he fouls off a fastball inside. Count stays 2-2. Hit by pitch and was walked along with 2 flyouts for Basir last night in the 3-0 win for the Rafters. That 2-hour and 7-minute game, which is not something you hear every day for a baseball game, but as another throw over to first base, nearly gets away from Ryan Burr. A quick trigger over from Nate Nabholz, and looks like they're going to say that was a balk. So Nate Nabholz credited with a balk. And a balk moves Chris Conniff over to second base. So the double play ball now out of play. Chris Conniff, that was only his second walk of the season, but he's only played in 4 games now. And there is a check swing by Jack Basir. That'll be the first strikeout for Nate Nabholz. Gets him checking a slider. Could not hold up on that one. That's out number 2 and the first strikeout for Nabholz. That's already the 8th strikeout in just 2 appearances for Nabholz as well. Hey, like I mentioned, he had 7 in his first 5-inning appearance. Nate Nabholz came in that second win against the Lakeshore Chinooks. That was back on Thursday night, last Thursday at Athletic Park. He's facing off against Jack Basir, gets him swinging at a slider, so 1-1 count. The rest of the lineup for Wisconsin Rapids: Sheelers followed by Garrett Broussard, then Shane Taylor had the 3-run home run last night. He's DHing again. Matt Olive, Alex Duffy, Brandon Rogers. 1-1 count to Danny Sheeler, the first baseman. Swing and a miss on a sinker once again. Fouled off, actually, as Chris Conniff was heading over to third base. He would have beat it off in time, but was foul tipped off by Danny Sheeler. And Nabholz looking to provide a scoreless first inning for the Woodchuck defense here. Last night, certainly not a scoreless inning for the Woodchuck defense. The only 3 runs in the whole game last night were scored off Shane Taylor's 3-run home run in the first inning. Here's the 1-2. And that is swung at, fouled. Down by the Woodchucks bullpen. So Sheeler will stay alive at 1-2. That was another slider that was in there from Nabeholtz. Nabeholtz, a man who transferred over from East Carolina to Towson. We'll try the 1-2 once again. Nabeholtz delivers. That's swung at right into the glove of Matt Del Sol on a line out. So Danny Sheeler lines out to Matt Del Sol for out number 3. And this game will remain scoreless as we're heading into the top of the second, where the Woodchucks look to score their first run of the series. 0-0 here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
0-0. We're heading into the top of the second inning. This is Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchuck Baseball Network on this Wednesday evening. Here live from Wisconsin Rapids, the 6-3 Woodchucks taking on the 4-5 Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. A couple straight losses for the Woodchucks, looking to get back in the win column. Their last win coming in the combined no-hitter against Fond du Lac on Sunday afternoon at Athletic Park. That was a very fun one. That combined no-hitter between Ethan Pecco, who went 7 full, 11 strikeouts. Only 1 walk allowed. Nick Shuddy and Colton Mercer. Mike McGinnis leading things off for the Woodchucks here as he swings and misses at a slider that's in there from Brett Porthan, Utah Tech man. McGinnis had a hit last night as he takes a low pitch for ball 2. Playing in his 9th game as Mike McGinnis. He fouls that one off. Counts out 2-2 on a fastball. Making his 8th start. 130 batting average, 3 hits. His 3rd one came in last night's game 1. He had a single. He leads the team in walks with 8. Has an RBI. 4 stolen bases, and 4 scored runs. The Georgia State Panther and the transfer from Samford University. As we wait the 2-2 after a short timeout. Put in 32 games, started 18 for the Georgia State Panthers this past spring. 250 batting average, 20 hits. 2-2. Taken outside on a fastball, counts full. 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 413 slugging percentage, 351 on base percentage, 14 scored runs, 3 stolen bases for McGinnis. At Georgia State, payoff pitch, no outs. That's in there for strike 3 on a slider. Nice pitch from Brett Porthan. Back-to-back fans for the Utah Tech man, Porthan. Just fanned Donahoe and McGinnis back-to-back. Donahoe was the final out in the first. And Portland has gone 4 up, 4 down. Brady Jurgella, the former Wisconsin Rapids Rafter, making a little homecoming tonight as he fouls out the first pitch he sees from Portland on a fastball. Jurgella played for that really successful Rafters team last season. Played 38 games for them with 246 batting average, 30 hits, 3 doubles, a home run, 8 RBIs. Had 4 multi-hit games as he takes a changeup in there for strike 2. He's down 0-2. The Menasha, Wisconsin native and the Minnesota Golden Gopher, who's playing in his 8th game, making his 8th start for the Woodchucks this summer. 321 batting average so far, has 9 hits. Jurgella hits one into right field. That's going back! Brady Jurgella, home run, Wausau! The first run of the series for the Woodchucks is scored off a Brady Jurgella home run. Happy homecoming, Brady. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Jurgella hits his first home run of the season for himself in these now 8 games played for the Woodchucks. He sends the one over the wall in right field. He looked good in batting practice today. He was really excited to be back here playing as Matt Del Sol rips one into left field, and that one goes just foul. Brady Jurgella has scored the first run of the series for the Woodchucks. And Matt Del Sol is up to the plate now. That is Jurgella's 10th hit and his 2nd extra base hit of the season so far. 1-1 count to Matt Del Sol, the shortstop today for the Woodchucks. Del Sol pops that one foul. Right back toward the press box area here at Witter Field. But it's a Woodchuck lead of 1-0 here in the top of the 2nd. Towering shot by Brady Jurgella to right field. 1-2 to Del Sol. Rips it foul again. He'll stay alive at 1-2. Matt Del Sol is playing in his 7th game for the Woodchucks this season. 286 batting average, 6 hits, a couple doubles, 4 RBIs, 2 runs, and a singular stolen base. Here comes the 1-2 once again from Porthan. And he hits this one foul again. So Matt Del Sol really getting a good handle on the baseball right now in this at-bat, but just can't keep it in fair territory. He has ripped 2 hard ones down the left field line. Both of which would have been extra base hits if it stayed fair. 1-2 again. And that's a swing and a miss by Del Sol. So usually in that case, what happens to the hitter is something good happens after staying alive for so long. But in this case, Brett Porthan wins this matchup against Del Sol. And that's his 3rd strikeout for Porthan. Vincent Samuel, the 3rd baseman, up to bat now. Hits that one. Foul on a chopper. Right outside of 3rd base. So he starts out with strike 1 on a fastball from Porthan. Samuel in last night's game was not in the lineup in last night's game. My apologies. He did play against Fond du Lac on Monday night as he takes a fastball outside for ball 1. It was Matt Del Sol playing 3rd base last night. Slider misses low, 2-1 count. Vincent Samuel, the native of Fort Pierce, Florida, the Indian River State College man. Samuel rips one into left field, and he will be staying at first. He's going to second. Samuel's going to second, and he slides in there for a double. So a ripper down the left field line that stayed fair. Went out there to Matt Olive in left field, and Samuel rounded first well enough. Hudson Bilodeau sending him to second base, and that is 2 extra base hits to start things off offensively for the Woodchucks here. A double for Vincent Samuel puts him at second base with 2 outs. Everything happens with 2 outs. Let's see if Matt McGann can keep this offense rolling here in the 2nd. Samuel not being held at second base, he can get a pretty good lead as that one is hit underneath the glove of third baseman Jack Basir. Coming home is Vincent Samuel being set by Brock Moss, and he beats the throw. 2-0 Woodchucks off some very good base running by Vincent Samuel. Matt McGann swinging at the first pitch he sees from Porthan, and he gets to second base. 3 hits now in this inning for the Woodchucks, and they lead at 2-0. So a single turn double for Matt McGann, and he brings home Vincent Samuel on an RBI. 2-0 Woodchucks with Ryan Burr, the 9-hitter, up to bat. Huge lead at second base for Matt McGann. Wasn't being covered until the second baseman Chris Conniff came over there to check him. And then stepping off the mound was Brett Porthan for a disengagement. 2-0 Woodchucks here in the top of the second. Ryan Burr takes inside slider for ball 1. Ryan Burr was playing first base last night back in the 8 spot. Had 2 strikeouts and a flyout. He was 0 for 3. Burr playing in his 7th game now, making his 6th start for Wausau's. 4 hits, 222 batting average. Hits that one foul. Strike 1. The Kaskaskia College product, transferring to Southern Illinois University next season, playing for the Salukis down in Carbondale, Illinois. After 2 seasons at Kaskaskia College, the Brownsburg, Indiana native. 1-1 count. Matt McGann with a huge lead at second base. And that one's hit into right center field, playable for Brandon Rogers, the right fielder, for out number 3. But the Woodchucks find some offense, score their first 2 runs over Brady Jurgella, home run to right field, and an RBI by Matt McGann, bringing home Vincent Samuel after he had a 2-out double. It's 2-0 Woodchucks heading into the bottom of the second. This is the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Welcome back to Witter Field here in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Woodchucks back on defense after the 2-run second inning. 2-0 lead for Wausau as the Rafters will be going 5-6-7, starting off with Garrett Broussard, the shortstop today. He's already up 2-0 on Nate Nabholz after a couple of balls thrown, fastballs. Here's the 2-0. That one's hit into deep center field. Going back to the warning track is Dalton Pearson, who makes the grab near the wall. So a very well-hit baseball by Garrett Broussard just was kept kept in this ballpark by the wind. Pretty heavy wind once again today in the exact same direction here at Witter Field, coming in from left center field. So the wind probably was what kept that ball in this ballpark. If it was a tailwind, that ball's probably out of here. Well hit ball by Broussard, but fortunately for Wausau, Dalton Pearson able to track it and make the grab at the warning track. And that one's hit into right field by Shane Taylor, and making the grab is Mike Adair. So a couple quick outs on flyouts for the Woodchucks here in the bottom of the second. As back-to-back pitches seen result in flyouts, and the Rafters looking to avoid a 1-2-3 inning from Nate Nabholz here on the Woodchuck defense. Matt Olive, the left fielder, up to bat for the first time, the Valparaiso man and the native of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Fastball misses for ball one from Nabholz, 89 miles an hour. Olive hit .344 this past season for Valparaiso. As fastball's in there for strike one in the upper part of the strike zone. He had a team best .470 on base percentage and .559 slugging percentage. As this one is hit to shortstop, Matt Del Sol making the throw to Ryan Burr. Matt Del Sol with a great pickoff at shortstop. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Woodchucks. Matt Del Sol getting a glove on a nice one-hopper. Well hit ball by Matt Olive and makes the throw in time to Ryan Burr. Great play from Matt Del Sol. It's 2-0 Woodchucks. We're heading into the third. This is Woodchuck Baseball on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you know, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Will Charlton here with you on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Happy you're joining us on this Wednesday evening from Wisconsin Rapids. Tomorrow night, the Chucks will be right back here on the Chucks Baseball Network as they will be heading south of Wausau to Madison, Wisconsin, the state capital of the state of Wisconsin, for the second game at Warner Park, second game of the Duck Pond, and the third game overall against the Mallards. That'll be a part of a home-and-home series where they return to Athletic Park on Friday night against those same Mallards. And come out to Athletic Park for some post-game fireworks on Friday night as Dalton Pearson back up to bat, rips one over to third baseman Jack Basir on a one-hopper, and Basir makes the throw over to Danny Sheeler, and Pearson is retired for the second time. But like I was mentioning, the first post-game fireworks of the season will be this Friday night as the Woodchucks take on the Madison Mallards. So come out to Athletic Park and enjoy some post-game fireworks. It's also Wausau Youth Baseball and Softball night. Mike Adair seeing the plate for the second time. And Mike Adair hits this one into foul territory, trying to go over there and make the... Oh, he will make the grab, and he tracked it well as Jack Basir at third base. So Mike Adair pushes one into foul territory for pop-up, and the Woodchucks have gone 2 up, 2 down pretty quickly here to start things off in the third. So Jack Basier being pretty busy so far over there at third base in these first two outs here. As Jesse Donahoe facing off against Porthan for the second time. (1-0), fastball up and away for ball two. Tomorrow night's first pitch right back here on the Chucks Baseball Network will be at 6:05 like it has been tonight and last night. So tune in tomorrow night at 6:05. I'll be right back here on the network as ball three taking on a fastball by Donahoe. No reason to swing here with two outs. Tomorrow night's pitcher for the Woodchucks will be Luke Fernandez from Oklahoma State. And Donahoe takes ball four. Four-pitch walk to the Georgia State Panther, and the inning stays alive for the Woodchucks. First walk allowed for Porthan. Does not go 1-2-3, and Donahoe's on for the first time in the series. Like I mentioned earlier, Donahoe went 0 for 4. Did not see the base path once. And Mike McGinnis, his Georgia State teammate, hopes to keep this inning alive even further. As Donahoe over there first. McGinnis takes outside on a change-up. Ball one. The 1-0 from Porthan to McGinnis is fouled off. Porthan led up only 22 walks this past season at Utah Tech, so walks were very rare for him. He had a 56-22 strikeout to walk ratio, very solid strikeout to walk ratio, a bit over 2. Check out to first base. Porthan to Sheeler, making sure Donahoe doesn't go anywhere, nothing doing. Brady Jurgella, who hit the home run earlier in the game, in the second to start the offense for the Woodchucks, on deck if McGinnis can't get on. And McGinnis takes a slider low for ball two. Like I mentioned earlier, McGinnis does lead this team in walks. Has 7 of those. Actually, I'd like to correct myself. He does not anymore. That's currently tied for second on the team, those 7 walks. But he's facing a 3-1 count against Porthan, looking to keep this inning alive. McGinnis. And takes a low fastball for ball 4. So a couple back-to-back walks. And the runners are at first and second. The Georgia State Panthers are on. Donahoe now at second. And McGinnis now at first. So Brady Jurgella will see a plate appearance for the second time in the same amount of innings. As we're going to get a mound visit here. We're going to check out Brett Porthan. We're going to get the athletic trainers out to take a look at the pitcher as he looks like he is visibly in some pain. So while they check out Porthan, we will step aside for just a moment here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Don't go away, though. The Woodchucks have runners at first and second with Jurgella at the plate. 2 outs here in the top of the third.
21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any Athletic Park. For tickets, call 840.
We have a new pitcher in the game for the Rapids Rafters as Brett Porthan, clearly in some pain, had to be taken out of the ball game, and we stepped aside for a solid moment because this new pitcher, Hayden Cody, had to warm up. Hayden Cody coming over from Cal State University Northridge, a Mission Viejo, California native. Just finished up his redshirt freshman with the Cal State Northridge Matadors. He went 4-0 with a 4.85 ERA, made 20 appearances. And he's facing off against Brady Jurgella with runners on first and second. Once again, Brady Jurgella hit the solo home run to right field, the first run of the series for the Woodchucks. A part of that 2-run second inning. And Jurgella looking to keep the offense going here as runners are at first and second with Jesse Donahoe and Mike McGinnis. So a couple Georgia State Panthers on the base path right now. 2-0 count. A couple fastballs from Hayden Cody. Pitching 26 innings for Cal State Northridge this past season. 2-0. And Jurgella hits a ground ball over to Chris Conniff, who makes a put out at second base, throwing it over to Garrett Broussard for out number 3. So Jurgella will be credited with a fielder's choice there that puts out Mike McGinnis at second base, and the offense ends there for the Woodchucks. They leave 2 stranded, but still lead 2-0 here as we head into the bottom of the third. Nate Holtz coming out, and the Woodchucks defense follows. We'll be right back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
2-0 lead for the Woodchucks heading into the bottom of the third inning. The Raptors will be going 8-9, then top. Starting off with Alex Duffy, the catcher, seeing his first plate appearance. The only base runner allowed for the Woodchucks so far was the walk to Chris Conniff back in the first. Other than that, Nate Napoltz has a strikeout, has retired every other batter faced. As a fastball low and outside to Duffy. Duffy coming over from Elon University, where he did not play this past season for Elon. And strike one's in there for a fastball as they swing and a miss on a change up there for Duffy from Naples, puts him at 1-2. And the pitch at 1-2. Swung at foul toward the Woodchucks dugout. He'll stay alive at 1-2. Duffy playing in his fourth game for the Rafters has a couple hits. 2 for 9 on the season coming in. One walk. And that one is a foul ball once again by Duffy. He'll stay alive, still 1-2. So the catcher staying alive. Brandon Rogers, the right fielder, on deck, and Ty Johnson, the center fielder, in the hole, the leadoff man for the Rapids Rafters. We'll try the 1-2 again. Napoltz delivers. Fastball outside. And high, ball 2. Two-two count to Alex Duffy. Nate Napoltz delivers the 2-2. That's inside on a changeup. So Napoltz, after a 1-2, the count's now full to Alex Duffy. Looking to avoid giving up the second base runner. Payoff pitch, no outs. Fastball's in there, fouled off by Duffy. He'll stay alive at 3-2. Duffy also has a stolen base this season. And the 3-2 once again, popped into fair territory, stays fair, and that will be a single. That was a blooper. I mean, the epitome of what you would call a blooper. Just stayed in the air for what felt like 3 seconds. Brady Trigella was tracking it as if it was going foul, and then just stayed fair, just barely. And that'll be the first hit allowed for Nate Napoltz today. Alex Duffy's on with a leadoff single. So Brandon Rogers, the 9-hitter, the West Iowa Community College product, up to the plate. Swings and misses at a slider for strike 1. Rogers has 7 hits, 2 doubles, a home run, 3 RBIs, 10 walks, which is the most on this Rafters team. Shane Taylor right behind him with 8. He also has the 5th most hits on the team, 7. And is tied for the most doubles with Shane Taylor. Inside fastball, ball 1 from Napoltz to Shane Taylor, or to Brandon Rogers, rather. Played in 47 games this past season for Iowa Western. 383 batting average, 60 hits, 10 doubles, 2 triples, 12 home runs. Check back over to first base, and Alex Duffy. Nothing doing for Nabholz. Leadoff runner out with a single, back to first base again, and nothing doing. So 1-1 count from Nabholz to Brandon Rogers. And he hits this one on a liner to center field, and making the grab out there is Dalton Pearson for out number 1. Sharp liner into center field. Dalton Pearson had to go back toward the warning track. And this shallow ballpark, 366 to dead center here at Witter Field. Feels like that's more shallow than most ballparks. 315 to each left and right to the foul poles. And leadoff man Ty Johnson up, as that is a foul ball hit down the first base line. Just goes to the right of first base, grabbed by Ryan Burr over there, so it would have been an out anyway if it stayed fair. But instead it's strike 1 to the McLennan Community College product, Ty Johnson from Flower Mound, Texas. 0-1 count from Nate Nabholz. And a sinker misses for ball 1. This past season at McLennan, Johnson played in 49 games with 60 hits, 22 doubles, a triple and a home run, 30 RBIs. Down to Ryan Burr at first base, steps on the bag, throws it in time, not in time to Matt Del Sol, so it would have been a 3-6 double play had it gone down, but a ground ball right to Ryan Burr is out number 2. And getting to second base this time is Alex Duffy. So a runner is in scoring position now for the Rafters. Chris Conniff got to second base in the first, but did not advance past that. So 2 outs, runner on second, and Alex Duffy. Chris Conniff to the plate, who was the first base runner for the Rafters, takes a change up outside. Ball 1 to the Wagner College man, the product of Norco, California. Right back to Matt Del Sol at shortstop. No one was covering the bag. Nabholz didn't see it. Matt Del Sol had to run over there, make the grab before the ball escaped into center field, to where Alex Duffy would have easily been able to take third base. Conniff, this past season at Wagner, hit .370 with a batting average of .219 in 56 games played and started. Fastball's in there for strike 1 from Nabholz. 1-1 count. He had 81 hits, 14 doubles, 2 triples, 7 home runs, and 41 RBIs. Slugging percentage of .548. 1-1, 2 outs. Swing and a miss on a slider from Nabholz. And the count's 1-2, looking to avoid giving up the first run here to the Rafters tonight. One, two, runner on second base. Fouled off by Conniff. So we'll stay at a 1-2 count. Now we'll try it again. The pitch. Inside on a fastball. Gets away from McGann. So Alex Duffy heading over to third base. And with any hit, the Rafters will cut into this lead by 1. Full count now to Chris Conniff. Looking to reach for the second time. Payoff pitch, 2 outs. And that one is driven into right field. Going back at the wall. is Mike Adair, and that ball has left the ballpark. The game is tied at 2. Chris Conniff, 2-run home run on a drive to right field. And Chris Conniff scores Alex Duffy and himself. We are notched up at 2. Chris Conniff with his first home run of the season for the Rapids Rafters. And RBIs number 2 and 3. That's his 6th hit as well. Jack Basir now looking to keep the offense alive here for the Rafters. Takes strike 1. And there's strike 2 in there on a changeup. So he's down 0-2 already. To Jack Basir. High fastball for ball 1. Basir struck out. And his first at bat against Naples, the only strikeout so far for the right-hander from Towson University. And we'll try the 1-2. Swing and a miss, so a couple strikeouts, both to Jack Basir for Nate Nabholz. Gets him swinging at a slider. But the Rapids Raptors do tie this game up. It is a 2-run shot by Chris Conniff. And the ball game is tied 2-2. We're into the 4th now, and we'll be back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
The Rafters tie this ball game up in their half of the 3rd with a 2-run home run from Chris Conniff, and it's a 2-2 ball game as we're entering the 4th inning of play from Witter Field. This is Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchuck Baseball Network. The Woodchucks will be going 6, 7, 8 here in their half of the 4th, leading things off with Matt Del Sol, who struck out in his first at-bat. Takes fastball outside from Hayden Cody, who's now out there for his first full inning of work, I should say. Came in relief for Brett Porthan, who left the game due to injury, as that one just completely gets away from Hayden Cody. Thankfully for the Raptors, there's no runners on base. That would have been an easy advance of a base on a pitch that completely got away from Cody there on a fastball. So 2-0 to Del Sol. Del Sol takes a fastball low for strike 1. Low in the zone, I should say. 2-1 count now to the shortstop, Matt Del Sol, the Elizabeth, New Jersey native, and the product of Grayson College in Texas. 2-1. Low fastball, this time actually low, not low in the zone. That is a ball for ball 3. Matt Del Sol looking to reach for the first time today. 3-1 count. And Del Sol hits a chopper in the infield. Garrett Broussard plays it, and the throw over to Danny Sheeler was high. Sheeler had to jump to make the grab, but lays the tag down on Matt Del Sol for out number 1. So it's not a ground out, it's a tag out instead on Matt Del Sol. Regardless, it's 6-3. And out number 1 is credited to the shortstop, Matt Del Sol, as Vincent Samuel, who had the double in his first at bat and the second, back up to the plate for the second time. That was Samuel's first extra base hit this season for the Woodchucks. All 3 of his were singles. That one's right back to Broussard. He'll get another chance at a clean throw this time, and he does make the play cleaner than the first time. Broussard throws it over to Sheeler, and that is out number 2. So actually a 6-3 ground out this time. Back-to-back 6-3s, and the Woodchucks are down to their last out here in the 4th. Matt McGann has to get on if they want to see the offense continue here. McGann had the RBI single turn into getting on second base in his first at-bat. The first pitch he saw, in fact, from previous pitcher Brett Porthan. So facing off against Hayden Cody for the first time, who has not allowed a base runner yet, has grounded Brady Jurgella into a fielder's choice, and now a couple back-to-back 6-3s. As he's looking to go 1-2-3 here in the 4th. Strike one's in there on a fastball from Cody to McGann. 1-1 count. McGann playing in his 5th game for the Woodchucks. 5 hits, 1 double, .333 batting average. 1-1. McGann holds off, according to first base umpire Archer Flores Florida. Behind home plate is Teddy Dutcher today, and at third base is Cree Wallen. So the same 3 umpires who the Woodchucks have seen now in the last 4 games. 2-1, 2 outs to Matt McGann from Hayden Cody. McGann hits this one into the glove of third baseman Jack Basir on a line out, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Woodchucks. It's still a 2-2 ball game heading into the bottom of the 4th. This is Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchuck Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Will Charlton here with you on the Woodchucks Broadcasting Woodchucks Baseball Network. This broadcast of Woodchucks Baseball here on this Wednesday evening from Witter Field here in Wisconsin Rapids as the Rapids Rafters looking to add a couple more runs to this tie ball game here in the 4th. Their 2-run home run by Chris Conniff in the 3rd tied things up after the Jurgella solo home run and the RBI by McGann gave the Woodchucks their first 2 runs. None of this game only, but of the series. Nate Naples entering his 4th inning of work, facing off against 4, 5, 6 for the Rafters. Danny Sheeler leading things off, who lined out in his first at-bat back in the 1st. Seeing the plate for the 2nd time today. 1-0. And a changeup's in there for strike 1. Or a curveball, I should say. Curveball's in there for strike 1. So 1-1 count. And a fastball inside for ball 2 from Nabholz. 2-1 to the Salisbury product, native of Towson, Maryland. So the Towson pitcher facing off against the native of Towson. Funny how that works, huh? 2-2 to Danny Sheeler. And Sheeler this past season at Salisbury played in 44 games, started 44 of those. There's a ground ball sharply hit to Ryan Burr, but Ryan Burr makes a nice pick on it, picks it up, and is able to go over to first base and tag the base himself for out number 1. So Danny Sheeler retired for the 2nd time today. So the classic G3 in the scorebook. And Ryan Burr makes out number 1 happen here in the bottom of the 4th. Nabholz facing off against Garrett Broussard for the 2nd time. Now Broussard flew out in his first at-bat, and he's probably going to do so again here. Broussard into center field. Dalton Pearson's under it for out number 2. So 2 flyouts to Dalton Pearson by Broussard. And a quick second out. So the Raptors will be looking to avoid a 1-2-3 with Shane Taylor coming up to the plate. Shane Taylor responsible for the only 3 runs of yesterday's game, the 3-run home run back in the 1st inning. The ball that was pushed by Taylor out to right field. He flew out to Mike Adair and right in his first at-bat as a curveball misses low for ball 1. Shane Taylor, the Utah Valley product. The Utah Tech product. 1-1 count from Nabholz to Taylor. And a slider misses low for ball 2. This past season at Utah Tech, Taylor played and started in 45 games, .319 batting average, 51 hits, 12 doubles, 2 triples, and 7 home runs. And this one's hit into left field, but there to make the grab is Brady Jurgella. So 1-2-3 inning for the Woodchuck defense will bring us into the top of the 5th, where the Woodchucks will try to retake the lead here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Welcome back to Witter Field here in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. The Woodchucks will be going 9 then top. Ryan Burr, Dalton Pearson, and Mike Adair to lead things off here in their half of the 5th inning. It's 2-2 here. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Woodchucks. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Rafters. Each team with 1 home run. Ryan Burr, who flew out to right fielder Brandon Rogers in his first at-bat, back up for the second time today. Looking for his first hit in the series is Ryan Burr. Was hitless last night. As there's a broken bat, hit right back to pitcher Hayden Cody. And Ryan Burr is thrown out at first base. So that is a broken bat ground out for Ryan Burr on the first pitch he sees from Hayden Cody. A 1-3 ground out. Easy play for the Rafters, and pitcher Hayden Cody brings up the center fielder and leadoff man for Wausau, Dalton Pearson. Pearson has popped out and grounded out so far. He's looking for his first appearance on the base path tonight. Had a couple singles in yesterday's game, was 2 for 4. And nearly hitting Pearson on the first pitch from Hayden Cody on a fastball. Pearson had to step way out of the batter's box to avoid that one. Cody misses way inside on a fastball. 1-0 count. Pearson, the Georgia State Panther, facing off against the Cal State Northridge man, Hayden Cody. Fouls that one off on a fastball. 91 miles an hour by Cody. He's been really kind of getting it over 90 miles an hour consistently with his fastball so far. And we'll try the 1-1 here between Hayden Cody and Dalton Pearson. The pitch. And a slider is taken on the outer part of the strike zone for strike 2. So Pearson down 1-2. Mike Adair on deck. Woodchucks, 2-game losing streak. Losing to Fond du Lac, 7-6 on Monday night. And last night here, 3-0. Popped up by Pearson and caught by the second baseman, Chris Conniff. So a couple pop-ups in the infield for the Georgia State man, Dalton Pearson today. 1 to Broussard, now 1 to Conniff. And looking to avoid another 1-2-3 inning are the Woodchucks. Mike Adair has to get on base here. He has a flyout and a foul flyout. He's 0 for 2. Adair hits this one, a ground ball over to Chris Conniff, played on a 1-hop, and thrown over to Danny Sheeler for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Rafters. And the Woodchucks go down in order of 9-1-2. And this game remains tied at 2. We're heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. This is the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Welcome back to Winterfield. Will Charlton here with you on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. New catcher in the game for the Woodchucks is catcher Jacob Schroeder for the University of Illinois. The Fighting Illini, just like myself. Jacob and I are pretty good buddies because of the fact we both go to Illinois. So he was one of the guys I did an interview with before coming to the Woodchucks this summer. We had a good old talk at Illinois. You can check that video out if you want to on this same exact YouTube channel. Nate Nabholz entering his 5th inning of work now. 0-1 to Matt Olive, the left fielder. Olive, in his first appearance, grounded out, 6-3. And the 1-1 count from Nate Nabholz. Swung at into center field, and Dalton Pearson doesn't have to move much for it. It's hit right to him. Matt Olive down on a flyout. Dalton Pearson's been pretty busy so far. Has 4 flyouts that have gone to him. And out number 1 is a quick one for the Woodchuck defense. Nate Nabholz, talking to field manager Brock Moss pregame, was looking for another 6 quality innings from Nabholz so far. He's doing pretty solid. Only 2 earned runs allowed and 2 hits and only 1 walk. As he's facing off against Alex Duffy, who came around to score on the 2-run home run as well from Chris Conniff. He also had the first hit, which was a single on a full count against Nabholz. So 1-1 count, 1 out. After the fastball is in there for strike 1. And here's the 1-1. Fouled off by Duffy. The Elon Phoenix facing off against Nabholz from Towson University. One, 2, 1 out. And that is chopped foul toward the Woodchuck dugout. Grabbed by bench coach Chris Wilsey down there. So we'll try the 1-2 again between Nabholz and Duffy. Duffy 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. And he fouls that one off, so Nabholz can't get Duffy to go down swinging. He'll stay alive again at 1-2. Couldn't get him going on the slider. Here comes the 1-2 once again. Fastball up in the zone. Swing and a miss by Alex Duffy, and that is the 3rd strikeout for Nate Nabholz tonight. So Nabholz looking for a 3rd 1-2-3 inning, and he'll have to retire Brandon Rogers for the 2nd time. Rogers flew out to center fielder Dalton Pearson in his first at-bat. Rogers, a very reliable player to have at your 9 spot if you're looking for production in the bottom half of your order. As he swings and misses at a changeup up in the zone for strike 1. Like I mentioned, coming in, Rogers had a .219 batting average before this game began. 7 hits, a couple doubles, and a home run with 3 RBIs. That's all this season already for the Rafters. Fastball catches the outer part of the strike zone, and Rogers is down 0-2 to Nabholz. Four 2/3 for Nabholz. Looking for 5 full now. Change up in the zone. Ball 1. Or outside of the zone. Just high in general, I should say. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Nabholz to the Iowa Western man. And that is hit into center field. Going back and tracking it is Dalton Pearson. Pearson, like I mentioned before, has been really busy. That's 2 flyouts in this inning, and it's another 1-2-3, the 3rd for Nate Nabholz and the Woodchuck defense. We're still notched up at 5 heading into the 6th inning now here at Winterfield. This is Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Rafters defense back out there to start the sixth inning. Ever since Hayden Cody has come in, the Woodchucks have not had a base runner. He has gone 7 up, 7 down, a couple 1-2-3 innings back-to-back as well for Hayden Cody, who has looked very, very poised on the mound. These Woodchucks hitters have not been able to figure him out yet. Has a fastball up in the lower 90s working. As there's a fastball inside. Jesse Donahoe is leading things off. And right there at 90 miles an hour. Donahoe, McGinnis, and Dragella due up for the Woodchucks here in the sixth. Just about 7:30 p.m. here at Witter Field in Wisconsin Rapids. As that one's hit right back to Hayden Cody. That was going to be a single if Cody didn't get his mitt on it. And Jesse Donahoe, rather, is out on a 1-3 ground out. Very good defensive play by the pitcher for the Rafters, Hayden Cody. You know what they say, pitchers always got to be ready to play defense, and Hayden Cody was ready to play defense there. Got his glove right where it needed to be in order to be able to get out Jesse Donahoe. Mike McGinnis, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk, back up for the third time today, as a slider just misses inside by Hayden Cody. Ball 1 to McGinnis, who had his third hit of the season for the Woodchucks last night in Game 1, as McGinnis hits a ground ball over to Broussard at shortstop. Broussard to Danny Sheeler for out number 2. So the Woodchucks looking to avoid a third straight 1-2-3 inning with Brady Dragella coming up to the plate now. But Hayden Cody has looked electric for the Rafters so far. Hayden Cody looking to go 10 up, 10 down after coming into the game for the injured Brett Porthan. The Cal State Northridge product facing off against the Minnesota Golden Gopher. Dragella into center field, and that will be playable for Ty Johnson, who makes the grab. So that is a third straight 1-2-3 inning for Hayden Cody, and this game remains tied up at 2. We're heading into the bottom of the 6th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Nate Nabeholtz's night is over. He goes 5 full, 2 runs allowed, only 2 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Pretty solid outing for Nate Nabeholtz. Clearly pretty satisfied with him as Brock Moss coming into the game as new pitcher Christian Clack, the native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the left-hander. Facing off against Ty Johnson, the leadoff man. He'll be facing off against 1, 2, 3 for the Rafters here in the bottom of the 6th. This is a team who also went 2-10 against last season and 1-2 in the postseason. Swing and a miss by Johnson for strike 1 on a fastball from Clack. Clack has made a couple appearances with 1 start this season. 3.86 ERA, 1.93 WHIP, 4 2/3 pitch. This is a ground ball over to between Matt Del Sol and Vincent Samuel. We'll have to see if it goes down as a hit or not because neither of them could get a glove on it. I'm assuming it's going to go down as an error because that should have been played by one of them. It's actually going to go down as a hit, so a leadoff hit for Ty Johnson here. An infield single to start things off for the Rafters here in the 6th inning, and the leadoff man is on. Second time they've had a leadoff man on today. Chris Conniff, the man who had the 2-run homer, back up. Thought about bunt there, but pulled back and took strike 1 on a fastball from Christian Clack. Chris Conniff has the 2-run home run and a walk, so he's not been retired yet today. Check back over to first base, and Ty Johnson over there, but Christian Clack can't pick him off. 0-1 count. And there is a slider in there for strike 2, so Clack already up 0-2 on Chris Conniff. That was the first home run of the season he hit for the Rafters back in the 3rd. And the 0-2. Fastball outside, gets away from Schroeder behind the plate, and heading over to second base now is Ty Johnson. So a pass ball will put Ty Johnson at second base. Clack has 5 strikeouts this season, has allowed 4 hits, and 2 runs, both earned, 5 walks. 286 batting average against. 2-2 count to Chris Conniff. Swing and a miss. That ball drops, and Schroeder will have to throw it over to first base and Ryan Burr, so that will be a strikeout for Christian Clack, the first one. But it's a 2-3 strikeout on a drop third strike. And Schroeder made sure that Ty Johnson stayed at second before throwing it over to first base and Ryan Burr. So Ty Johnson stays there at second base, the first strikeout for Christian Clack in this outing. And the batter now is Jack Basir, who has 2 strikeouts. Basir takes fastball outside for ball 1 from Clack. The UAB Blazer, Alabama Birmingham. Made 22 appearances, 2-2 record for the Blazers this past spring. That one's a broken bat. Grounder in the infield. Matt Del Sol plays it over to Ryan Burr at first base for out number 2. So a couple broken back ground balls in the past couple half innings in this Woodbat Northwoods League. And Basir is down on a 6-3 ground out. The Woodchucks looking to avoid Ty Johnson scoring, who advanced over to third there on that ground ball. Danny Sheeler, the first baseman, who has not reached base yet today, a line out and a ground out, up for the third time. That one gets away from Schroeder behind the plate, but Schroeder able to keep it somewhat near him so that Ty Johnson couldn't come home. Fastball getting away from Christian Clack there. Ball one to Danny Sheeler from Salisbury. The Salisbury University Seagulls. And that one's grounded right back to Christian Clack, who will make the throw over to Ryan Burr at first base for out number 3. So no run is scored for the Rafters. And Christian Clack comes in, goes after the leadoff single allowed, retires the next 3 batters, and the game remains 2-2. We're into the 7th here at Whitterfield. This is the Woodchucks Baseball Network. We have a new pitcher in the game for the Rapids Rafters. Will Charlton with you on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. It is Anthony Benetti, the native of Tampa, Florida, and the product of Barry University in Florida. He'll be facing off against 6'7", 8 for the Woodchucks, starting with Matt Del Sol. Anthony Benetti, the right-hander, 6'3", 205 from Barry University. Just finished up his junior season at Barry University. Facing off against Matt Del Sol, 1-0 to the Elizabeth College product, or the Elizabeth, New Jersey product, Grayson College. Man. Benetti, this past season at Barry University, went 2-2 with a 9.19 ERA, made 12 appearances, 5 starts, 31 1/3 pitched. 1-1 to Del Sol, and Del Sol takes a half swing through it on a slider, and it counts 1-2. Had 34 strikeouts, only 11 walks, so over a 3 strikeouts to walk ratio. 48 hits allowed, 33 runs allowed, 32 earned. 340 opposing batting average. Matt Del Sol went through on a pitch that gets away from Benetti on a slider, and Del Sol cannot lay it off Benetti's slider. That is 2 pitches in a row he could have avoided swinging at, but that is a tough one to lay off of, as the first man up for the Woodchucks is down in Matt Del Sol. Vincent Samuel, the 7-hitter, back up to the plate. Takes fastball high from Benetti for ball 1. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Hayden Cody had 3 straight 1-2-3 innings and 3 1/3 pitch, so he looked electric on the mound. Didn't allow one hit, didn't allow one base runner in his 3 1/3. Very impressive outing from Hayden Cody for the Rafters, as Samuel takes outside on the slider for ball 2, something that Matt Del Sol could not lay off of. Anthony Benetti coming into a 2-2 ball game for the Rafters, each team with 2 runs and 3 hits. Samuel's 2-1, thought about it, but laid off. Counts out 3-1. Jacob Schroeder, the replacement catcher for Matt McGann, on deck. Indian River State College man Vincent Samuel facing off against the Berry College man Anthony Benetti. So a couple Florida boys going at it here as the fastball's in there for strike 2. 3-2 count. Samuel could be the first base runner for the Woodchucks since the 3rd inning. Payoff pitch, 1 out. And that is swung at by Samuel just out of the infield, and making the grab in shallow right field is Chris Conniff for out number 2. So a strikeout and a pop out is how this inning starts for the Woodchucks, and Jacob Schroeder, the catcher, coming in to replace Matt McGann up to the plate for the first time. Schroeder, the Illinois Fighting Illini, now playing in his 4th game for the Woodchucks, making his 4th appearance as he came through on a slider for strike 1. That slider has been gnarly against the righties so far for the Woodchucks. Benetti's slider has fooled them big time so far. 0-1 to Schroeder. Schroeder swings and misses at an elevated fastball. He's down 0-2. Schroeder has 3 hits, a couple RBIs, 2 runs, 2 walks. .462 on base percentage so far in his 3 games played for the Woodchucks. 0-2. Outside fastball low for ball 1. Played in 39 games, started 38 of those for Illinois this past season. Hit .284 with 38 hits, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 14 home runs, which was second on that team, trailing behind Drake Westcott for Illinois. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss by Schroeder on that same exact slider, and Benetti works his magic with it. And the Woodchucks go 1-2-3 for the 4th straight inning. Benetti comes in, gets 2 strikeouts, and we're heading into the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Winterfield. 2-2 ball game on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Welcome back to Witter Field here in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. It's a 2-2 ball game heading into the bottom of the 7th. Another quick one between these two teams. Last night it was only 2 hours and 7 minutes of game time, and tonight, well, it's only been an hour and 40 minutes, give or take. And we're already in the bottom of the 7th as Christian Clack entering his second inning of work for the Woodchucks, facing off against Garrett Broussard, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts, both to Dalton Pearson. And that one is fouled off by Broussard for strike 1. One count. Outside fastball from Clack for ball 2. Clack gave up a single to Ty Johnson and then went 1, 2, 3 in the next 3 batters faced. That's another high fastball from Clack, and the count's now 3-1. Clack now making his 3rd appearance for the Woodchucks, like I mentioned. He's now pitched 5 2/3 innings after the full 6th here tonight. And that one is right up the middle for a single for Garrett Broussard. So a couple leadoff singles given up by Christian Clack as he finds the gap right between Jesse Donahoe and Matt Del Sol. And that is a leadoff single for Garrett Broussard. So a leadoff single given up to Ty Johnson and now to Garrett Broussard. And Shane Taylor up to the plate for the 3rd time. He's also flown out twice, but this time to Mike Adair and Brady Jurgella. Lefty-lefty matchup between Taylor and Clack. Fastball's in there for strike 1. 90 mile an hour from Clack. Taylor had the 3-run home run last night in the 3-0 win for the Rafters. The only 3-run score in that whole entire game in the 1st inning. Other than that, has not had a hit since. Slatter misses outside from Clack for ball 1. In fact, Shane Taylor struck out the next 3 times he came up to the plate. So ever since that home run, he is 0 for 5. 1-1 to Shane Taylor. Shows bunt, pulls it back as a slider misses low from Clack. 2-1 count from the left-handed pitcher to the left-handed batter. Two-one. Fastball's in there for strike 2. Low outside corner. Going with the 2-seam fastball there was Christian Clack. 2-2. No outs. Runner on first base. And that one hit. Shane Taylor in the back. He's heading over to first base. And runners now at first and second for the Rafters. Some trouble brewing here in the 7th. As Christian Clack now in a little bit of a jam. The leadoff single by Garrett Broussard. And now the hit by pitch for Shane Taylor. And pitching coach Russ Davis going to come out there to talk to Christian Clack. We have someone warming up in the bullpen for the Woodchucks. Can't tell who it is because there's a big inflatable right in front of the bullpen, so that's completely blocking my view of who's in the bullpen right now, but it is a right-hander for the Woodchucks. So now after the hit by pitch and the leadoff single allowed from Christian Clack here in this bottom half of the 7th inning, bringing Matt Olive to the plate, who has a ground out and a fly out. Matt Olive still looking to reach for the first time, showing bunt here, and he will lay down the bunt, actually pulls it back. So pulls it back, and that's strike 1 given to Matt Olive, who wouldn't be shocked if he shows bunt again here. Christian Clack steps off the mound. Trying to throw back to second base, making sure that Garrett Broussard wouldn't go anywhere. No one was holding him on, though, so couldn't make the throw. 0-1 to Olive from Clack. Showing bunt again is Olive, and he won't lay it down. He'll pull it back as the fastball is inside from Christian Clack. Pulling it back against Christian Clack. I like rhymes. That's kind of fun to say. 1-1 count. Olive shows bunt again, and this time he lays it down. That is a very well hit bunt. Christian Clack makes a throw to Jesse Donahoe, who was covering the bag at first base this time. Ryan Burr going down the first baseline to make sure the bunt was hit that way. He was there to get it in time. So Jesse Donahoe receiving the throw from Christian Clack. So I'm not too sure how that works in the scorebook, if that is actually a 1-4 or still 1-3, but regardless, it is an out for a sacrifice bunt for Matt Olive that advances both runners, Garrett Broussard and Shane Taylor, as looks like that's going to be it for Christian Clack, as field manager Brock Moss coming out there to make a pitching change. And we'll introduce who it is in just a moment when we come back on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Runners are at second and third, though. Woodchucks in the jam. New pitcher in the game for the Woodchucks with one out and runners on second and third is Andalo Santangelo, making his third appearance for the Woodchucks. 1-0 record, flat 3 ERA, 1.67 whip. Has gone 3 full innings, 3 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed, 1 run, which was earned, given up, and opposing batting average of .385. Coming over from Towson University, as well as his teammate Nate Nabholz, who started today's game. So a UAB Blazer splitting up the Towson bullpen. The other Towson pitcher on this team, this Woodchucks team, is Ethan Pecco. As the first pitch swinging from Alex Duffy against Santangelo is fouled off on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Santangelo, very interesting pitcher, throws his changeup better than his fastball, he's told me. He throws a changeup, fastball, slider, and he'll mix in a curve here and there. 0-1, fastball low and outside for ball 1. Made 19 appearances with 2 starts this past season for Towson. 1-1 record, 7.33 ERA, 2.1 whip. Swing and a miss on a slider from or a change up by Santangelo, 1-2 count. This would be a big second out here for the Woodchucks so they can get out Alex Duffy. Duffy has a single and a strikeout. 1-2. Fastball grounded over to Ryan Burr, who will tag the bag himself at first base, but that will score a run for the Rafters. Garrett Broussard comes home to score run number 3, so that'll be an RBI for Matt Olive on a G3. And that will advance over Shane Taylor to third base. So that'll be a run allowed to Christian Clack after the single given up to Garrett Broussard, who just came home. And the Rafters now lead this thing 3-2. First run scored since the third inning. Brandon Rogers to the plate now in this righty-righty matchup. Rogers swings at a strike one curveball from Santangelo. As a check over to first base umpire Archer Flores Ferreira by Jacob Schroeder. But Rogers did not come through on the check swing. So ball 1. And that one is grounded foul by Rogers, so that'd be strike 2. One-two count to the Towson man facing off against the Iowa Western man. Taken outside on a fastball by Santangelo. Or by Rogers, rather. 2-2, 2 outs. With Shane Taylor at third base. The pitch, swing and a miss by Brandon Rogers. Schroeder will throw it over to Ryan Burr at first base for out number 3. So that is a strikeout for it. Andalo Santangelo. And it comes at a big time, leaving Shane Taylor stranded at third base. But the Rafters do take the lead here, scoring the run on the RBI ground ball by Alex Duffy. And the Rafters are up 3-2 heading into the 8th inning here at Witter Field. This is Woodchucks Baseball on the Woodchuck Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-55.
Another new pitcher in the game for the Wisconsin Rafters. It is Blake Barker from Seton Hall University. Just finished up his sophomore year at Seton Hall, the native of Chardon, Ohio. Right-handed thrower, 6'3", 205. Facing off against Ryan Burr, the 9-hitter today for the Woodchucks, who has flown out and grounded out as a fastball from the left-handed throwing Blake Barker in there for strike 1. So 0-1 count. Ryan Burr takes a low fastball for ball one. That one was in there at 92 miles an hour from Barker. And takes that one for ball two. Ryan Burr looking to reach base for the first time today. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Woodchucks, 3 runs, 4 hits for the Rafters. Adding that leading 1 run over there in the 7th. Hit over to third baseman Jack Basir by Ryan Burr, and not able to make to play at first base in the scoop is Danny Sheeler, so that'll probably go down as an error that puts Ryan Burr at first base. It does, so that'd be an error that puts Ryan Burr over there at first, an E3. And at this point in the game, the Woodchucks could use a mistake. That is the first error in this series, believe it or not. There were no errors yesterday between these two teams. So Ryan Burr, the leadoff man on first base because of an error. Dalton Pearson looking for his first hit today. Has not reached yet. Pearson thought about bunt. Then pulled it back off the fastball that was low and outside from Blake Barker. I want to apologize. I looked at my roster card wrong. It's actually Seton Hill that Blake Barker attends. Seton Hill, not Seton Hall. So the Seton Hill product, which is in Pennsylvania. Fouled off on a bunt by Dalton Pearson. He'll try for the 1-1 once again. And Pearson fouls off a bunt again, so he can't go back to the bunt here. That would be very risky. Blake Barker was a part of a 48-13 Seton Hill baseball team this past spring, so very impressive stuff. Barker, 4-1 in 18 appearances, 2 flat ERA, .96 whip, had 34 strikeouts and only 8 walks. 1-2 to Pearson, fouled off for the fourth pitch in this at-bat. He'll stay alive at 1-2. He allowed 18 hits in 27 innings pitched, 7 runs, 6 earned, 8 walks. Opposing batting average of only 186. 1-2 count to the leadoff man, Dalton Pearson, with Ryan Burr over there at first base. Fastball outside from Blake Barker, counts 2-2. This feels like an inning where the Woodchucks really need a run. And if Dalton Pearson can get on, that would certainly be a good start. Have not scored since the second inning when Brady Jurgella hit the solo home run and Matt McGann scored Vincent Samuel on an RBI single. Fouled off by Pearson. Once again, he'll stay alive at 2-2. This would be a big time for Dalton Pearson's first hit tonight. 2-2 from Barker to Pearson. And Pearson fouls that one off. So Pearson just kind of staying alive, trying his best to put one in play. He's been behind on these past two as he's fouled it off in more of a push. So the 2-2 again from Barker to Dalton Pearson with Ryan Burr at first base. The pitch. And that's hit into center field. Going back for it is Ty Johnson, but he's there to make the grab. Pearson flies out, and he is retired for the 4th time in this game. So Pearson can't get on. Had 2 hits last night, but cannot get on base in 4 tries tonight. Mike Adair looking for his first on-base appearance. Up to the plate with Ryan Burr still over there at first. Barker also had 4 saves this past season, as there's a swing and a miss by Adair, and a throw that nearly gets away from Broussard at shortstop. Not the greatest throw behind the plate from Alex Duffy, but it is a stolen base for Ryan Burr, who's over there at second now off the swing and a miss by Adair. So Duffy nearly had that throw get away from him. Broussard had to go well off the bag to get that one and make sure it didn't go into center field. But a runner in scoring position now. The double play ball taken out of play for the Woodchucks. Ryan Burr at second base. And the 0-1 coming to Mike Adair, the left-handed hitter. Adair swings and misses on an elevated fastball. He's down 0-2. That was Ryan Burr's first stolen base as well this season. (0-2) to Mike Adair from Blake Barker. Outside fastball, high for ball 1. Jesse Donahoe on deck, who's also looking for his first hit. Adair, fly out, foul pop out, and a ground out. 1-2 from Barker. Chops that one foul toward the dugout of the Rafters. The Woodchucks, after going 5 straight games with 7+ runs, 6+ runs scored, have now only scored 2 the last 2 days. As Mike Adair comes through in a half swing and goes down in a strikeout off an off-speed pitch and a slider from Blake Barker. First strikeout for Barker. And also, Ryan Burr is the first base runner for the Woodchucks since the 3rd inning. The pitching staff for the Rafters has been lights out ever since Brett Porthen went out due to injury. Starting with Hayden Cody, then Anthony Benetti, and now, so far, Blake Barker. Another lefty-lefty matchup here between Barker and Jesse Donahoe. Donahoe is 0 for 2 with a walk. Doesn't have a hit yet tonight. And also did not have a hit last night. He was 0 for 4. So Donahoe hitless in this 2-game set so far. Big reason as to why the Rafters won last night 3-0 and are up in this one 3-2. Donahoe had been producing left and right for the Woodchucks prior to this series. As Donahoe sends one into center field and caught by Ty Johnson for out number 3. Donahoe remains hitless. And the Woodchucks will now have 3 more outs to work with in the 9th, trying to come back and avoid a 2-game sweep. It's 3-2 Rafters. We're heading into the bottom of the 8th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you know, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Back here for the bottom of the 8th inning, Will Charlton with you on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Woodchucks trail this thing 3-2 as the Rafters look to add a couple insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Leading things off with Ty Johnson, the leadoff man. Will be Johnson, Conniff, and Basir up for the Rafters, at least here in the bottom of the 8th from Witter Field in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. The Woodchucks trying to avoid a first 2-game sweep of the season and avoid losing their 3rd straight game after losing last night 3-0 and losing on Monday night to Fond du Lac 7-6. The Rafters looking for their 3rd win in 4 games and their 3rd straight win overall after taking down Madison 9-1 on Monday night. Andalo Santangelo out there for the Woodchucks still, and that's now 3 balls thrown to Ty Johnson starting this thing off. And there's a fastball that's in there for strike 1 from Santangelo. 3-1 count now to Ty Johnson. It would certainly not be beneficial for the Woodchucks to give up this lead base runner. 3-1 count. Swing and a miss by Johnson on a fastball. The count's full at 3-2. Tomorrow night, make sure to come right back here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network for the Woodchucks in Madison for the 2nd time. They'll be down at Warner Park this season. I'll be right back with you here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network at a 6:05 for first pitch as there's a swing and a miss by Johnson. Schroeder's got to get it over to Ryan Burr in time on a drop 3rd strike, and he does so for out number 1. So after being down the count 3-0 for Santangelo, he goes right at Johnson with 3 straight strikes for his 2nd strikeout. And back-to-back strikeouts on drop 3rd strikes, in fact, for Andalo Santangelo. Nicknamed D-Lo by his teammates at Towson and his Woodchuck teammates. Showing bunt is Chris Conniff. Pulls it back after the fastball is inside from Santangelo. (1-0). Fouled off by Conniff for strike 1 on a fastball. The Mallards, who the Woodchucks will be facing off against tomorrow, looks like they're going to be taking a win against Kenosha. They're up 13-4 in the 6th inning. So they'll be catching the Mallards on a winning streak. Like I mentioned earlier, tomorrow's pitcher for the Woodchucks will be Luke Fernandez. 2-1. Fastball's outside from Santangelo. It's now a 3-1 count to Chris Conniff, who hit that 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning. And also has reached on walk today, so he's 1 for 2 with a couple RBIs as well. Fastball high for ball 4, and Conniff is on for the 3rd time today and walking for the 2nd time today. Jack Basir coming up to the plate once again. He is 0 for 3 looking for his first hit. Righty-righty matchup between Santangelo and Basir. 2 strikeouts and a ground out as ball 1 misses outside on a change-up for ball 1. Chris Conniff over there at first base now after the walk. 1-0, 1 out. Check by going to first base, and Schroeder throws not in time. Schroeder nearly was able to pick off Chris Conniff at first base. Ryan Burr is not able to lay the tag down in time, as Ross Davis coming out to talk to Andalo Santangelo, who Davis and field manager Brock Moss certainly were hoping for Santangelo to hold the Rafters here in their half of the 8th. Go down by no more than just a run, as they'll have 3 outs to work with to try and not lose their 3rd straight game and drop these first 2 of the season to the Rafters. These Woodchucks will be right back here in Wisconsin Rapids after 2 with the Mallards on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday night's first pitch will be at 6:05. I apologize. It'll be a 6:35 first pitch here from Whitterfield on Saturday, as Santangelo hits strike 1 in there on Basir. 2-1 count now. And then Sunday is a earlier game. That'll actually be a 4:05 first pitch right back here at Whitterfield. So both those games will be right here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. 2-1 from Santangelo to Basir. Outside on a fastball, going to second, and laying the tag down, not in time. Donahoe dropped the ball. The throw would have been in time, as there's a stolen base for Chris Conniff. A delayed steal by Conniff. Schroeder made the throw in time easily, but Donahoe could not hold on to the ball. So the double play ball now out of play here for the Rafters. And the Woodchucks looking to avoid more damage being done, already down 3-2 after the 1 run scored in the 7th gave the Raptors a 1-run lead. 3-2. Santangelo throws a fastball right down the middle, swung at foul by Jack Basir, the Pepperdine Wave. Like I mentioned, he had .345 this past season for Pepperdine, 58 hits, 13 doubles, 5 home runs, so certainly a threat to score Chris Conniff from second base. Conniff also has 5 hits on the season, as he hits this one into right field, and making the grab out there is Mike Adair. And thankfully enough for the Woodchucks, the ball was not hit deep enough to where it would have been worth it to tag up for Chris Conniff. So with 2 outs now, and Danny Sheeler to the plate, the Woodchucks looking to avoid going down by more than just 1 run and staying down by that margin, as they'll have 3 outs to work with and the batting order of 4, 5, 6 to try and tie or take the lead to force a bottom of the 9th inning. Santangelo with Conniff on second, facing off against Sheeler in a righty-lefty pitcher-batter matchup. Sheeler is 0 for 3, line out, ground out, 2 ground outs for Sheeler. Looking to reach base for the first time, 1-0. Fastball outside by Santangelo. (2-0) for Santangelo, as he'll step off the mound. And Jacob Schroeder will come up to the pitching mound to talk to Andelo Santangelo. 2-0 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The lights are on here at Whitterfield as it's just over 8:20 p.m. in this Wednesday night affair between these 2 division rivals. The second game of 12. These 2 will face off against each other this season. Like I mentioned, the Woodchucks will be right back here at Whitterfield on Saturday night for a 6:35 first pitch. Santangelo facing off against Danny Sheeler. 2-0. Inside fastball for ball 3. Santangelo's 3-0 on the way to the Salisbury man Danny Sheeler, and he's walked. A 4-pitch walk to Danny Sheeler from Andalo Santangelo. And runners are now at first and second for the Rafters here in the bottom of the 8th. Woodchucks in a little bit of a jam, but thankfully enough, there is already 2 outs. Garrett Broussard, the shortstop, up to the plate. 1 for 3 with a single and a couple flyouts. His single came back in the 7th, and he also came around to be the 3rd run scored for the Rafters. Fastball low in the zone for strike 1. 90 miles an hour from Andalo Santangelo. Oh, 1. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Between Santangelo and the Utah Valley man, Garrett Broussard. Inside fastball. Ball 1. Broussard playing his first game for the Rafters yesterday. Scored a run but didn't have a hit. Was 0 for 4. So his first hit of the season for the Rafters came on that single back in the 7th, as there is a slider that looked like it could have possibly hit Broussard for a second, but came in with a lot of motion and just clipped inside for ball 2. 2-1 count to Broussard from Santangelo. And Broussard pops this one foul back toward the grandstand here at Witter Field. And Brock Moss has seen enough from Santangelo. He's going to make a pitching change with 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the 8th inning. 2 outs, runners on first and second, and a new pitcher coming in the game for the Woodchucks who will be asked to get 1 strike. It'll be Cesar Avila, the quote-unquote closer for the Woodchucks. Don't necessarily have a closer title, but Cesar Avila is the closest thing you can get to a closer on this team, and he's coming in the ball game to try and hold this 3-2 lead so that the Woodchucks will only have to try and answer with 1 run. We'll talk about Cesar in just a moment. We'll step aside here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
Love you, bro. I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
Cesar Avila into the game for the Woodchucks with a 2-2 count. 2 outs here, facing off against Garrett Broussard. Avila making his 3rd appearance, already has a save this season for the Woodchucks. Has not allowed a run yet in 3 innings pitched. Has a .67 whip, 4 strikeouts, only 2 hits allowed, and an opposing batting average of 182. His slider misses outside for ball 3, so it's a full count now to Garrett Broussard. Avila's got to probably come at him with a fastball here. the Livingston, California native, and the University of the Cumberland's product, Cesar Avila. Full count, 2 outs. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Cesar Avila gets him swinging. And the Woodchucks will only trail by 1 heading into the top of the 9th inning. The Woodchucks have 3 more outs to work with as they search for 1 run here at Whitterfield to try and avoid a second straight loss and a third straight loss overall, trying to avoid their first season sweep against the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. It's 3-2 Rafters heading into the 9th here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network.
June 21st is 80s night at Athletic Park. Get a ticket and Radical shirt for only $18. Call or go online today.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, good to have you back on your game.
Yeah, well, you know, I only got cancer so that you could tell people that, you shaved your head for solidarity and not because you're going bald.
Right. And I got a minivan to make your little moped look cool.
Okay. Well, couldn't have gotten through without you.
I'm glad you're sticking around.
Oh, that means so much coming from Mom and Dad's second favorite.
Whatever.
Don't miss out on any of the great food at Athletic Park. For tickets, call 715-845-5055.
We're into the top of the 9th. The Woodchucks down to their final 3 outs to try and add a run to tie or take the lead here in the top of the 9th inning, trying to avoid a third straight loss and a first series sweep of the season at the hands of the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters. Tristan Julian, or Julian Tristan in the game, rather to try and close things out, record his possibly his third save of the season for the Rapids Rafters. As Mike McGinnis back up to the plate for the Woodchucks. McGinnis takes an inside slider for ball 1. McGinnis has walked, struck out, and grounded out. So he's 0 for 2. As the 1-1 from Julian Tristan is a fastball low in the zone. Swinging and missing is Mike McGinnis. It's a 1-2 count at 91 miles an hour. Making his 4th appearance. He's pitched 4 full innings so far, only allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, and a struck out 3. Outside fastball, ball 2. He's not allowed to run yet either. And opposing batters only hit 154 against him so far this season in his 3 appearances. 2-2. And McGinnis swings and misses. He could possibly get the first base on this. The throw is in time, though, from catcher Alex Duffy for out number 1. So a strikeout for Mike McGinnis is out number 1, and the Woodchucks down to their final 2 outs. Brady Jurgella, the man who had the solo shot back in the 2nd inning, which was the first Woodchuck run of the series, and only the first of 3 hits today for the Woodchucks. Up to the plate, he grounds the first pitch he sees over to second baseman Chris Conniff, and a quick second out here in the bottom of the top of the 9th inning. And the game comes down to Matt Del Sol from Grayson College in Texas, looking to try and avoid a third straight loss for the Woodchucks. 2 quick outs for Julian Tristan and the Rafters here in the top of the 9th, and the Woodchucks are down to their final out. Ball 1 to Matt Del Sol, the shortstop, who has struck out twice and grounded into a 6-3. He fouls this one off his own foot. Certainly won't feel good for Matt Del Sol. 1-1. Now with 2 outs as Matt Del Sol tries to tough this one out after grounding it into his foot. He'll step back into the batter's box. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Woodchucks. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Wisconsin Rapids Rafters, who, like I mentioned, were 10-2 against the Woodchucks last season and went and eliminated the Woodchucks from postseason play as Matt Del Sol swings through a slider, and the count's 1-2. 1-2, 2 outs. Woodchucks trail by a run here in the top of the 9th inning. And Matt Del Sol pops this one up into shallow left field, and coming in to make the catch is center fielder Ty Johnson for out number 3. And that is a Rafters sweep of the Woodchucks. They win this one 3-2, and the Rafters improve to 2-0 in the season against the Wausau Woodchucks. That is the 3rd straight loss for the Chucks. And they'll look to respond tomorrow night against Madison at Warner Park for a 6:05 first pitch right back here on the Woodchucks Baseball Network. Well, thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Woodchucks Baseball. They lose it 3-2, 3rd straight loss, and we'll look to bounce back tomorrow night. I'm Will Charlton, and saying see you tomorrow night for Woodchucks heading back to Madison for the 2nd time this season. We'll see you then. Good night, everyone.